Welcome to the Easy Computer Fixes channel, and we want to talk a little bit about Zombieload, but for two machines, two different machines. So we did talk about it for Windows, but we'll talk about it in this video about Mac OS and Linux. What are the updates, and do we have updates for the Zombieload attack and what it is all about? So just to recap, new security flaws have been discovered with the Intel chips. These Intel chips now have these. This is kind of worse than Spectre and Meltdown in some ways. And of course, it's a way that you can actually basically, go and see pretty much what's happening within the CPU, and of course, steal passwords and personal data. Now, mitigation efforts have been released. For the most part, a lot of these fixes don't actually fix the problem. What they only do is simply, mitigate or make this something that is less of a problem. On Mac OS, you need to be running the latest version of the Mac OS operating system and have the latest updates on it. If you have the latest updates, the latest patches, you're safe. But there's a big problem here. On Mac OS, it might slow down your Mac PC up to 40%, which is a whopper of a slowdown. So you might notice that your Mac computer is very sluggish after this update. Now, don't despair. These fixes, a little bit like the Spectre and Meltdown, they're the first wave of fixes. But as time goes by, new fixes will appear, and these fixes will actually probably have less impact. Your PC will get back some of its speed, honestly. Now, the other thing that to know here is that you really need this patch to be installed because it's a very, very dangerous problem, especially if you don't want to be spied on and get your passwords. And now that it's known to the world, well, bad guys will be, of course, using this to try to snoop on you. If you're on Linux, well, whatever Linux distro you're using, of course, they all run on a core of a Linux core. And that kernel, what we call the kernel, is where all of this is happening. You need to be at the latest kernel update for your Linux distro to be safe on Zombieload. So, of course, that means that you need to be sure that you have a good distro that has all of these updates regularly, and that the core is updated for sure. Now, one last thing about this for Linux is that if you're using an AMD computer, AMD chips are not affected by the Zombieload attack. The only thing that you need to know is that even though you're safe from Zombieload, make sure that all the updates are there because you are on the AMD chips. Still, Spectre and Meltdown are still problems for AMD chips, but that needs to be fixed with updates. So update your systems on Mac and Linux. Make sure that you're running the latest Intel, the latest patches on your operating system for Mac OS, and of course the latest kernel version for Linux distros if you're running Intel chips. If you enjoy my videos, please subscribe, give us thumbs up. Thank you for watching.